to have everybody here. We're going to get started here in just a minute. We'll do a little housekeeping and then we'll get into this. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, we want to welcome you. Starting next week, we will not be teaching classes on Facebook. We're done teaching classes on Facebook, but we will use Facebook as a communicative platform to get our message out. We just won't be teaching classes because now Shibboleth is a free ministry to every willing and wanting heart. Of course, our members and partners that help us in this ministry help us continue to make a way for everybody to get the help they need. You're going to continue to have what you've always had, and we're also rolling out some more things as our way to say thank you to our partners and members as we really launch this week. I mean, this is kind of a beta week for us, kind of a beta test, if you will. Not that we're testing, not that we're going to pull back from this being a free ministry, but we've got some kinks to work out. But we're not going to let that stop us from going ahead and using what God's given us to help people that are in need. Time is very precious. The Bible teaches us that life is as a vapor, or is it even as a vapor? Here today, gone so fast. We don't want to waste another day. We want people to hear the message that we espouse. We want everyone to hear about the goodness of Christ. We want people to learn about nutrition, how the foods break down in your bodies. We want you to have real practical tools for behavior modification so that you will pick those tools up and use them. We want everyone to hear a message of grace. It's time that you let go of everything you've been carrying around, that you forgive yourself, you stop listening to Satan use guilt and allow Satan to weaponize guilt in your life, regret, shame. Let's let all that go. We are the children of the Most High God, and it's time that we come back to Him and we begin to eat for Him, live unto Him, do everything we do, whether we eat, whether we drink, do it all unto Him, and to realize you have freedom. You have freedom. When Jesus sets you free, you're free indeed. You have ultimate freedom. You're covered, okay? But if we want to enjoy the fullness of our salvation, it is better. It's a better walk to live with self-discipline. I want to start this class off by asking everyone who's a willing and wanting worker to come into the vineyard and go to work with me today. And I want you to repeat something that's really helped me. I learned it from a shaman, if you will, but it's really helped me in my walk with Christ. Is everybody ready? I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I love everything and everyone that I'm aware of. That includes myself. That includes my brain. That includes my body. That includes my family. That includes Henzo, my little dog. That includes Wilson, the tree that is one of my altars and secret places to pray. It includes everything. It includes my enemies. I'm aware of my enemies. I'm aware I have enemies. And I can say, I'm finally ready to say, I love you too, enemy. I love you too. I'm aware of you. We come from the same dust. I love you, okay? I love everyone and everything. And I want to keep trying my best to conform to the image of Christ. I'm a long way off. I'll never get there while I'm at home in this body, but I'm going to get there. And I want to help other people get there too. Move a little closer. That's what we're after. All right. Welcome, everybody. Glad that you're with us. I am recording the class. All of the classes are recorded. Then they go in our My Shibboleth library. Hey, everybody. Good to have you. We're going to get this started with a lesson. For those of you that if you're already a member or partner, you can do this, but you don't have to do this. You can get started with us at www.shibbolethlifestyle.com. You still also have entry to myshibboleth.com. Now, when you go to shibbolethlifestyle.com, everyone, when you go there, you're going to see changes at shibbolethlifestyle.com daily. Okay, we will go over the tools and resources. It's just kind of housing them right now. But in the next few days, you're going to see amazing advancements in that part of our website for our members of the community who we have removed all barrier to entry to our program. We want people to learn about nutrition. And this is one of those classes where we're going to learn about nutrition. I hope that you've got pen and paper. And also I'll introduce you to some of these resources that you'll be able to use in the future. This week, we're going to be trying to get people started, okay? We're going to try to get people started. And when folks start, we want them to know what to eat, okay? We want you to know what to put in your mouth. We want you to know how these foods are going to break down in your body and help you have success. But there's no way that I can teach you hundreds of hours of information in less than 1 hour. So we're going to walk away with some instructions on what to eat to lose weight. But next week on Monday, all of you that have signed up for the free program, you're going to get in your inbox or on the website. We're either going to bring it to you or you can come to the website and get it. Short lessons where if you complete 30 days worth of those lessons, not only will you understand the meal plan that we've selected for you and how it works and why it works, you're going to understand how foods break down in your body so that after 30 days, you can really expand your variety. A lifestyle is a practical, sustainable, and fun way of living and eating. How many of you have engaged? This is a rhetorical question. How many of you have dieted in the past to lose weight? How many of you have dieted? Even some of you, believe it or not, hey, y'all on Facebook, good to have y'all too. Some of y'all have even used Shibboleth as a diet. Some of you have used Shibboleth as a diet. Some of you have been on good diets. Some of you have been on bad diets. Diets never work. The first 3 letters of the word diet spell die. Anything we start with and we can't stick with forever is a waste of time. You'll lose weight, you'll gain it back, you'll always end up ultimately worse for wear. One of the questions I get asked so often, I'll give you an example. Travis, why are y'all offering a lifetime membership? I want to lose weight, and then once I lose that weight, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be on a diet forever. That's the wrong way to look at it. Look, whatever you're doing, that's why I tell people don't go do one of these programs that eliminates a macronutrient like carbs or fat. Do not do those programs because you will lose weight. But once you try to live it forever or you come off of it, you can't sustain it because it took so much away from you, then you're going to gain all the weight back. And it ends up being a waste of that valuable, precious time. So don't look at it like you're now doing a diet. Look at it like we're walking together and doing a personal lifestyle that's made for us, that's built for us, that we can do forever. And why would we want to quit it? Because it's going to give us so much joy, better health. There's literally nothing that you can't have with the Shibboleth lifestyle. There's nothing you can't have. No one here, members or non-members, can name one food that you cannot have and lose weight with Shibboleth. Can anybody name a single food that you can't have? I'll give that 10 seconds to soak in. Is there a single food that you cannot have and lose weight with Shibboleth? Donuts? Yeah, you can have donuts. Donuts are allowed. Now, I assume I'm talking to reasonable people, okay? Now, even the Bible talks to us about this. I can't be held accountable by unreasonable people, right? So if somebody says, Travis, can I have Dunkin' Donuts and lose weight? I'm not even going to ask how many. My answer is very simple. Absolutely. Now, do you want to lose weight? Can you only consume Dunkin' Donuts in a 30-day period? Do you mind only consuming them 6 days a month? And then when we get to your goal weight, I got some good members here that have been taught right. when you get to your goal weight, how many days a month can I have Dunkin' Donuts and keep my weight off? 12. That's almost half the month. So to me, I think that's very reasonable for God's people, right? I mean, you're just barely having to do the right thing more than the wrong thing. So initially, we got to limit what we call our holidays, our donut days, to 6 days a month. And then later, and very quickly, if you'll immerse yourself in the program, you'll be able to have them 12 days a month, as long as all of your other days of the month are easy to follow, Shibboleth approved days. And I'll submit this: if your thing was donuts and you were eating them every single day, and that's part of the problem, a compulsion, you're not even enjoying them anymore. You're doing it out of habit. I'm even going to help you enjoy your chocolate-covered donuts again. How about I bless the name of the Lord on that? All right, come on now. One of the things that we've got to do is learn to be enthusiastic. Learn to get fired up about what we're going to accomplish. This is amazing stuff we're going to be talking about. So, back on track with talking lifestyle. No, you're never going to be able to quit it. Why would you want to? Why would you want to? I do want to help people over the next 30 days or so understand that many of us are addicted to suffering. We're addicted to suffering. Some of you know what I'm talking about, in that you have had perfect days and lost weight, and you have felt so much better. The food has tasted good. You have felt so much better. And then for some reason, you relapse. And you're like, why did I do that? It's because we're addicted to some level of suffering. So it's kind of like the best example is one that my dad gave me a long time ago. He said it's like a toothache. If you deal with a toothache for a very long time, and then you have that tooth pulled, the toothache's gone, but in some weird way for a little while, you miss the toothache. If all we know, if we've not had much pleasure in our life, except for the instant gratification of food, if we haven't had much pleasure, but we've had a lot of pain and suffering, we'd rather have that pain and suffering than be in that very dark place that the Bible talks about where there's nothingness. What I want to do is move you from suffering through that place of it's just a little while, that place of void and that place of nothingness, over to a place where we fill all those voids and we have ultimate pleasure in life and with our food. Will y'all come go with us? Will you come go with me? All you got to do is forget everything you know. You got to forget everything you know, everything you've been taught. And if you'll do that and immerse yourself in this and trust me for just a little while, then you're going to be very successful. And then what we'll do when you reach the mountaintop of wellness, we'll bow our unworthy heads together and we'll give Jesus the praise for it all. Sound like a good plan? Hey, Dr. DD. Hello. Okay, so remember, the short lessons are coming next week. This week, these classes, me teaching and helping everybody this week come up with their own personal meal plan. But I am going to give you a little bit of a lesson today. Let me get y'all to write something down before we're going through a lot of transition, okay? I've got more than 100,000, I'll show you if you don't believe me, more than 100,000 unread emails. So I want you to look up here and look at travisjack777@gmail.com. Write that down. That's your second line. I should have put that second. That's your second line of defense. We are a support company. Does everybody hear that? We are a support company. We support people. We don't give you a diet and send you off by yourself and say, figure it out. You know, motivate yourself, support yourself. We don't do that. We are exemplary with our level of support. TravisJack777@gmail.com if you can't get answers from info@myshibboleth.com. But go to info@myshibboleth.com so there's not a long delay in me getting an answer back to you. There's also a Facebook support group that will help you get the answers you need so you don't have to go here. But when we close out, I'll get you that information. But in case you have to leave early, info@myshaboth.com. And if you have patience, travisjack777@gmail.com. Okay? All right, so I'm going to erase that to give us room on our board. We're going to do a meal plan, but I'm going to give you a short lesson. Now, one more point of housekeeping. I've got a lot of very experienced members here. My experienced members, we're going to have advanced classes for you. But right now, please, ding, 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 ding. I know a lot of people's working when I broadcast, and I never get tired of answering the same question over and over, but this is ding, ding, ding. If you are an experienced member, you do not have to stop what you're doing. Now, a couple of things have come up in the last few days since I announced that we're transitioning to a real weight loss and wellness ministry. And one of those is from our experienced members who asked, can they go through the first 30 days of the curriculum? Can they go through it with their friends and family members who are now joining because it's free? You can, but you will have to forget what you know. Did you hear that? Because this whole system and program, there's ways that I eat today that I would not share with a brand new member. I want our brand new members to understand how food works inside this body, how it affects the heart, how it affects the pancreas, how it affects the liver, how foods break down. How the hormone insulin is secreted, how the hypothalamus reacts to certain foods, all this different stuff. I want folks to learn nutrition the right way. And then we can build upon that cornerstone, right? It's just like in the Bible, if we start with works doctrine and then we try to add our faith later, it's not going to be very effective. We start with the chief cornerstone, which is faith in Jesus Christ, and then we build upon that, and then the works just flow. Does that make sense? So if you're an experienced member and you need a restart, I highly recommend it. If you've gotten off track, you should start here. You should forget what you know and start here, okay? If you've got friends and family members you're going to go through this with, and you kind of a type of fast with them, fast from all the information that you know for a little while, you're going to have great results too, and you'll be blessed. But when our experienced members come to class and start talking about the tens of thousands of products that they know they can have, and you know how it is, you so want to give that to a new person, right? You cannot help it. You so want to give it to them. You want to tell them about all this stuff that you've learned. And oh, by the way, we can have this and we can have that. And what happens is the whole system breaks down because we haven't really transformed that person yet and given them a good nutritional cornerstone to build off of, okay? It's like in the Bible when Jesus would say, I'm going to do this mighty work for you, but don't go tell anybody. And what would they do? They would go tell everybody. They were so excited. And then Jesus could do no more mighty works there. So we want Shibboleth to be used of God to do a mighty work. And they've got to start just like you did with day one, okay? I know a lot of housekeeping. Let's get on with it. But this is important. I know what I'm talking about. All these other programs, they're trying their best to yield to clients' desire for quick fixes. And I'm going to do my best to do that too. But it won't work. It won't work unless we dig deep and learn this stuff. Like, I need everybody here to look at this like you're a new baby. You know, with no bad habits, no bad compulsion. You're a new baby. And you're not going to put anything in your sacred temple. I'm loving awareness. You're not going to put anything in your sacred temple that will do it any harm until you learn how that food's going to break down. Even if I didn't teach you anything today, and you left and didn't know what to eat, you could go 24 hours until I told you that first food that you could eat. And you're going to leave with a lot of tools today, but I want you to start over, okay? I want you to start over. All right. So feel free to share this too, by the way. Share the video so we can get this message out and have people sign up for our free program, because after this week, for people to get the education, they're going to have to come to our website. I will not be teaching classes on Facebook after this week. I'll only use Facebook as a communicative tool only. All right. What is a calorie, everybody? Now, I'm not going to go through the same presentation everybody's familiar with, but I'm going to start here. What is a calorie? It's a unit of energy, right? And when we consume that energy that our body needs, if we are consuming adequate energy levels and quality types of energy from food, then we're going to maintain our weight. If we're in a deficit, we're going to lose weight. If we're in a surplus, we're going to gain weight. This is how much space 1 pound of fat takes up on the body. This is 1 pound of fat. And again, it's consolidated here in this model, but this would be how much space 1 pound of fat takes up on the body. Y'all, I was more than 100 pounds overweight. Can you believe I'm fitting in this suit? I can't believe it. Bless the name of the Lord. Can't believe it myself. I was over 300 pounds. There are how many calories in 1 pound of fat? My experienced members, you can prove to these new folks that you're going to learn a lot. Yeah, 3,500. 1 pound of fat equal 3,500 calories of stored energy. Now, muscle, 1 pound of muscle does not take up near that much space that I just showed you with that fat model. So fat and then muscle. How many calories are stored in a pound of muscle? Good job, Anisha. 600. 600 calories. Look at this. There's 6 times more calories stored in 1 pound of fat than there are 1 pound of muscle. Okay? All the pounds on our body are not created equal. We need some fat on our body to function properly. And we need muscle. Muscle generates metabolism. And when we start trying to lose weight, we've got to eat properly, because if we're in a calorie deficit but we're not eating properly, we're going to lose mostly what, y'all? Muscle. We don't want to lose our metabolism. We've done enough harm to our great metabolism. So we got to preserve muscle. Our plan is built so that most of your loss, you'll lose both and you'll gain both when you're gaining. But there's a way to efficiently burn fat while preserving muscle. And if we'll follow the program, we're going to lose minimal muscle. A lot of folks tell me that I don't look like I've lost over 100 pounds. They have to see old pictures of me to believe it. And then they're dumbfounded when they ask me, what did I do for exercise to lose that weight? I didn't exercise. I didn't exercise. I'm not suggesting that you don't, but I'm telling you, when I started losing my weight, I had done all that exercise and I had tried every diet, and I was done with exercise back then. Now, I've changed since then. Once I lost all the weight and kept it off for years, there come that point in time where I'm like, I went with Shibboleth. I went from looking really overweight to looking good in my clothes and feeling confident in my clothes. But when I would take my shirt off, like going to the beach or a pool or whatever, I looked terrible. So I wanted to look good naked. How many of you want to look good naked? N-E-double-K-E-D. Raise your hand. Anybody want to look good naked? It's okay. You was born that way and you're going out that way. How many of you want, and I'm talking about relative to you. How many? Yeah. If you'll lie about that, you'll lie about anything. So, it's a You go through different phases. Our first phase is to get where we feel confident and comfortable in our clothes, and we start becoming a more well person. So the way I did it, following this program, I lost 44 pounds in my first 6 weeks. I would go on to lose more than 100 pounds in less than 6 months. I have a question. Do the math. How many calories had I eaten too many? What was my calorie surplus at 100 pounds too much? 100 pounds overweight too much. What was my calorie surplus? Yeah, let's check that out. I had eaten, I didn't feel that I didn't feel like I'd really done eating that much over time. It slips up on you. But I had eaten more than 350,000 calories too much. I had eaten more than 350,000 calories more than I should have because I was not using food properly anymore. I was using food for the following. I was using food to deal and cope with anxiety. I was using food to entertain myself. I was using food for boredom's sake. I was using it for stress sake. That's not the way food should be utilized. But for a long time in my life, it was the only pleasure that I had. Do y'all follow me? And then it became just a bad habit. I was using food as a solution for all of my problems to the point I really didn't even enjoy food anymore, but I still did it. I should have been walking in step with the Holy Spirit and understanding and feeling the full joy of my salvation and all the other things that life has to offer. I should have been engaging with that, but I didn't have the self-confidence, the self-esteem, the support. That's what I want to help people with so desperately, young and old. I want to help everybody get to a point where they can enjoy the fullness of their salvation again. And you may get really down on yourself when you do that math and think, goodness, I've really overeaten. I'm a glutton. Stop. Never say that. I still make that mistake myself. But what happens when we label ourselves? You may be dealing with gluttony, but try not to say, I am a glutton. Because once you label yourself, then you will start living up to that label. I believe with all my heart, that's why God in the Bible, when Moses said, who should I say sent me? God said, I am that I am. The only time you see where God labels God's self is when it's positive. God said, in the Bible, it says God is the wonderful counselor, the almighty God, the great physician. Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. Never label yourself. Don't ever say, I am fat, I am ugly. Listen, our words are so powerful. We do not get this, and the devil's going to get mad. I expect the devil to really come after me and come after y'all. I'm just going to say, Satan, get behind me. And he has to, in the name of Jesus, get behind me. But listen, he ain't going to like when you set yourself free with powerful and positive words. You're still going to make mistakes and say negative things, but your life right now, your life, if it's good, it is the sum total of the positive words you say minus the negative words you say. If your life is pretty much negative, it's the sum total. You've been more negative than positive. Your words have power. And God tells us that they have power. You have the power to bless your own life, bless other lives. You have the power to curse your own life or curse other lives. And this is where your faith is rooted. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if you want to see a better day and a better life, no matter how good or bad it is now, start letting your speech be impeccable about yourself, about others. Show yourself some grace. This is something for you to laugh at. It isn't something for you to get down on yourself about. Laugh at it and just say, I am loving awareness, and I love those 100 pounds I put on, but they got to go. They got to go. I'm ready for something new. Life is short, and I'm ready for something new. How many of you is ready for something new? I'm ready for something new. Let's do it. So all calories, we've already established that these extra calories stored in fat and these extra calories stored in muscle, they're not all created equal. One of the great cons that has been played on us is when they say in weight loss and wellness circles that all calories are created equal. All calories are created equal. They are not. If all calories were created equal, then let me back up and ask you this. If you consumed 1,000 calories only, exactly 1,000 calories only every day for a month, would you lose weight? Hey, Carol, would you lose weight? Yeah, but watch this. Watch. Let's say in a 30-day period, you had 1,000 calories a day of nothing but chicken and broccoli. And then another 30-day period, you had nothing but 1,000 calories a day of Mayfield Moose Tracks ice cream. Which one would you get a better fat loss result from? 1,000 calories a day of chicken and broccoli or 1,000 calories a day of Moose Tracks? The chicken and broccoli. So all calories cannot be created equal. The chicken and broccoli is the chicken's breaking down inside your body as amino acids that feed and fuel muscle. I call amino acids gut be gone and butt be gone. The broccoli's breaking down into phytonutrients, powerful plant alkaloids that make our cells healthy, and breaking down into some insoluble fiber so we can push the poo, right? It's exercise on the plate. The ice cream, what's it doing? It's breaking down into what, everybody? Sugar and fat. And then what happens? Our pancreas releases what to keep us out of a diabetic coma? Right, insulin. We call that the fat bus in our classes for the new people. I like to give things imagery. We call insulin the fat bus. When the fat bus comes on the scene, what takes place, everyone? I do, Donna, I do. We have a whole series on that in the library. Okay, so I see a lot of people don't know. So the fat bus, when insulin is a growth hormone, a fat storage hormone. A growth hormone and a fat storage hormone. So when we have high levels of insulin in our system, our appetite goes up, fat storage takes place, and watch this, efficient fat burning stops for how long, everyone? Efficient fat burning stops for up to up to 2 days, 48 hours. Good job, everybody. We don't want to stop our fat burning when we're trying to get our life back. You know, if we're spiking insulin a lot some days and a little bit other days, it never has time to decrease enough so that we can get in efficient fat burning status. So we want to control the fat bus. And if we can operate each and every week, notice I said a week, not a day. A week, we can end the week, every 7-day period, we can end it in a calorie deficit while controlling insulin we can get rid of all this fat that we've been holding on to. And we can get rid of it much more efficiently than everybody that's trying to starve it off. There's some great things going to happen. And listen, I'm on ding, ding, ding. As we get into those short daily lessons next week, you're going to be able to understand things that you won't understand after today. But I'm begging you, I'm imploring you, I'm begging you to watch my little short videos for just 30 days, or else the first day the scales don't show you a loss, you're going to throw up your hands and you say, I quit. This don't work either. I just talked to several ladies over the last couple of days. It's like, nothing works for me. That's because you quit. You don't listen. You don't learn. You've got to decide, look, I've been told wrong. This culture's told me wrong. It's like building a, have y'all not noticed when it comes to nutrition and weight loss and wellness, one person tells you this, another person tells you that. It's just all stupid stuff all the time. It's like trying to build the Tower of Babel. So you're going to have to be willing to let me teach you how these foods are breaking down in your body so that you can have those aha moments. You're going to, over that 30 days, if you will give me your time, it's not going to hurt you to give old Travis your time for 30 days. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know my accent rubs people the wrong way. I know a lot of people love it. But you can put up with me. You can suffer me for 30 days and let me teach you all this foundational nutrition where you'll go, I thought we were supposed to, example, I thought we were supposed to have 5 or 6 small meals a day to keep our metabolism revved up. How's that working out for people? How's that working out? Ain't working out too good. Didn't work out for me either. Don't feel bad. The devil loves to sow confusion, okay? Today you're going to leave confused. Maybe the devil's using me today. There's no way, though, that I can teach you all this stuff that I've dedicated my life to in an hour. But if you'll give me 30 days, just put up with me for 30 days, you're going to get it. So we're trying to combat that fat bust. Now, I'm not saying insulin is a bad thing. I'm not saying that insulin is a bad thing. Insulin's life-saving. Look, y'all see, I'm cutting up. A lot of y'all don't know me. I don't really feel this way. I'm trying to teach and trying to have fun with it. So let me just play. Sometimes I talk bad about myself. But look at this. This is a hunk of man right here. Y'all see this hunk of man? You see him? He's a hump. I got a little bit of muscle. But I say that funny. Now watch. The reason I'm saying that, there are seasons, now that I've lost all of my weight, I go through cutting season and building seasons. You cannot lose body fat and gain muscle at the same time. They lied to you. They lied. You can't do it. It's impossible. Now, to be fair, you can reconstitute muscle that's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, when he was the governor, he got kind of chunky and he lost his muscle. And then when he did that new Terminator movie, he put his muscle back on, even as an old feller. How did he do that? Besides steroids, how did he do that? He did it because all that muscle was still there. He just knew how to get it reconstituted. But you cannot put on new muscle without extra raw material. So there are times in my life, now that I'm in a building season, I'll go through 12 weeks and I really don't like it because most of my clients are trying to lose weight. And during that 12 weeks, I kind of fall off the grid a little bit because I'm not eating what they're eating. I'm actually wanting to spike insulin a little bit, because to spike insulin a little bit puts me in a growth mode and I'm better able to put on a little bit of new muscle. Does that make sense? So insulin, because of the way we all eat in this overindulgent, crazy culture, if it weren't for insulin, every day we would all go in a diabetic coma and die. But if I'm trying to lose weight and I have high levels of insulin running through my bloodstream, I cannot efficiently burn body fat. Is everybody with me on that part so far? So important that you realize when you get into this. My mama's here. I love my mama. Everybody tell my mama, hey, I love you, mama. Now, I talked about Sasha earlier today, but my mama's the one that saved my life. She saved my life. If it wasn't for her, the devil probably would have won. So thank goodness for my mama. So anyway, mama's here. Now, mama will tell you she's going to get mad at me. She's going to get mad at me saying this. But for a long time, my mama was all about them calories. So when I would talk about perfect days and holidays, and there's no in between, when I would say, if you even lick the cheese dust off a Dorito, we call that a holiday. My mama, this is my belief, I can't prove it, but my mama, she'd be like, well, I kept my calories low, so I'm not going to worry about just a few chips. My mama has always been disciplined, but she'd have a little bit knick-knack stuff on a perfect day, and she'd still call it a perfect day. Has anybody else done that? Do I have any experienced members here? You did that. Tell the truth now. Y'all have marked in your online journal in the past a perfect day when you really knew it wasn't a perfect day. I knew it. I knew my mama wasn't bad. I knew other people did it too. Not me. If I so much as lick the cheese dust off a dirty Dorito, I know I've played with the fire. And what is in the fire? Do y'all remember from the Bible? What is in that fire when we get too close to the fire? A serpent. And that thing's going to bite you. Do you know what's going to bite you? It's not that serpent. It's called sugar and starch and trans fats. They're going to get you. So listen, a perfect day has got to be truly perfect. And it's okay. It's why we call it a beautiful holiday. If you don't have a perfect day, that's okay. It's a holiday. It's called a day of grace. So for our beginners, now listen, I've got experienced members here, and y'all know about Tiger Days and all that stuff. We're not talking about that today. So what I'm going to teach you over the 30-day period is how to have a perfect day or a holiday. If I follow all the rules of a perfect day, and it's easy to do, especially with the help of the Holy Spirit, if I have a perfect day following the daily disciplines, after 2 days, look, y'all, watch this. I hadn't done this in a while. Ding, 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 ding. When I get to going past 10 minutes, I know people start tuning me out, so I have to yell or something, right? So look, this is fat that takes up so much space, jiggly, itchy fat, and this is muscle, okay? This is our metabolism, and it's in neutral. It's in neutral. It's in neutral. So when I get in a calorie deficit, if I have also controlled insulin, my body has to make up those energy requirements. After 2 days, you're going to get rid of all that glycogen that's stored. It's going to eat that up. And then it's like, I need some energy because this person has got me in an energy deficit. And if I've controlled insulin, it's going to easily move and it's going to start burning body fat. And it will keep burning body fat until I have them Doritos or those crackers. It doesn't matter that you ended in a calorie deficit. If you spike insulin, you're going to pop out of gear. That's okay. We're not talking about every day having to be perfect. We get days of grace. But I want to efficiently get rid of the booty. I want to get rid of this stuff. So now, man, if I have a perfect day, I'm assured that I'm efficiently burning fat. And then when some of you get into the advanced stuff and you learn how to have Tiger Days, you're going to lose that body fat so fast, you're going to hear a fat sucking sound. It's going to be like taking a blowtorch to butter. You're just going to melt like I did. Are y'all excited? Can I take a breath? I kind of miss preaching in the old country church because when I get excited, I could hack a little bit, but I'm afraid y'all won't let me hack. A lot of people said, the old country preachers, they would say, well, they in the spirit when they start hacking. For me, I can't say that. I'll tell you why I was hacking, because I couldn't get a breath. All right. So we're going to efficiently burn some fat by having perfect days. And here's how simple a perfect day is that I'm going to teach you in these short lessons. But today is the day of salvation, Monday. I'm not worried about tomorrow. I got to drink my water. I'm going to drink a half a gallon to 1 gallon of water a day. There's other beverages I can have on a perfect day, but these are the daily disciplines. I'm going to journal. If you bite it, you write it, you hog it, you log it, you nibble it, you scribble it. You got to write it down. You got to take it. I don't like to journal. The reason that these two rules are first on my daily disciplines. Now, sometimes plain talk is easy. Yes, ma'am, Donna, I sure am. I sure am. Promise you. Sometimes plain talk is easily understood. I'm not always a sweetie pie. The Bible says the wounds of a friend are faithful, but the kisses of an enemy deceitful. Just like people didn't tell me I looked bad at over 300 pounds, and then after I lost weight, they wanted to tell me I looked sick. Listen, the devil's conniving. Part of our journey together, and I've hurt a lot of feelings over the years, unintentionally, not because I'm judging them, but because I'm honest with them after a while. And I want to be honest with you right now. I want to be honest with you. If you're in a place, and I think Donna asked earlier, was there a way to build your why? And we have a series on that you might need. But I'm going to give you some strong talk right now. If you say that you want to lose weight and you're going to give me a hard time about drinking water or writing down your food, it takes less than 3 minutes a day, then you are not ready to lose weight. You're going to waste your time and you're going to waste my time. That's a fact. Now, that's not to say I'm judging you over that. I'm saying you are not ready to lose weight. The two easiest disciplines, and you don't want to do it because it's hard, you need to get your heart right. Okay? That's not judgment. I'm telling you as an adult to adult that I discern you're not ready. After 20 years and tens of thousands of people, if you're going to fuss about drinking water and spending 3 minutes of your day when you spend hours on Netflix watching Ink Master, you're going to tell me that you don't have time to journal. You need to hush your mouth. You need to go do something else. And then when you get your heart right, not with me, with yourself, then come on back. I'll still be here as long as God's tarried His coming and I've got breath. Are y'all with me? Is that okay? Is that too hard? Because that's who I am. That's who I am. It's not judgment. It's just me being honest with you. You're not ready to lose weight. Now, you'll drink your water and you'll journal. We can go to the next disciplines. Food combinations. Food combinations. They control insulin, protein, and fiber, coupled with your carbohydrate in the right quantity will control insulin so we can efficiently lose body fat. Portion control. How many meal episodes can we have a day on Shibboleth? 3. Everything's about Jesus. Breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. And on a perfect day, you can hog trough it. You can hog trough it on your holiday. But on a perfect day, you're going to have to control your portion on a 6 to 8 inch plate, or using the hand rule, or using the calorie rule. Notice I didn't say and. I said or. The portion control plate will work just fine, or the hand rule will work just fine, but for the calorie counter, like my sweet mama, she's a calorie counter. She's just going to have to eat in the right combination and control her calories, okay? We don't graze on a perfect day. We are not cattle. We don't want to be, I don't want to be this no more. That's a pig. But I don't want to be cattle. I don't want to graze all day. I want to eat 3 or less eating episodes a day. Now, if we're in the middle of a perfect day and we've had our 3 eating episodes and I'm having a moment of mental weakness, we can still conclude with a perfect day having snacks and freebies that are approved that will control blood sugar. So theoretically, it's lawful but not expedient. Lawful but not expedient. Lawful but not expedient. Theoretically, you could have 5, 6, 7 eating episodes in a day and still lose weight until you get really close to your goal. But we don't want you to, right out of the gate, we want you to go on and tighten up and do it right. Go on and eat for the size you want to be, not the size you are. Then you've got your timing rule. For our advanced members, ding, 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 ding. For our long-term members, the timing rule means a 12 to 16-hour fast a day, otherwise, including sleep. Otherwise, I don't care when you eat. But for our new members, so that you can help your new friends and family members, timing simply means spreading your eating episodes out 4 to 6 hours. Does that make sense, everybody? Lastly, to me, the most important, bless the name of the Lord. I want to give thanks. I want to have an attitude of gratitude. One of the things that I see holding people back so bad are these words that aren't impeccable speech. I'm starving to death. So when you start this program, first thing you need to do, as soon as you have that evil thought in your mind, I'm starving to death, you need to get naked as a jaybird, go in there and look in the mirror, start jumping up and down, and then tell me you're starving to death. You need to do what I did. You need to put a mirror in your fridge so when you open it because you think you're starving to death, you can see your reflection. You ain't starving to death, sister. You are not starving to death. It's a habit. Now, let me tell you what I was doing. I was starving Big Travis to death. If I was over 300 pounds and I'm eating like a 200-pound man, there's 100 pounds of Travis that's mad. So the next time, you just need to smile. When you hear that going in your stomach, it won't be long because you just right around the corner is another eating episode. But let's just say that you are dealing with that and you hear a little growl and it's about an hour before you can eat again. Just say, hey, it's Big Travis that's got to go. Lean Travis is thriving, but Big Travis has got to go. 100 pounds of Travis got to go. You can do this. Now, I submit this to you. Most of you are not going to experience physical hunger. You're conditioned to want to feel full all the time. You're conditioned to want to feel that stomach just stretched out all the time. There'll be some moments of a lightness of being, but not real hunger. What it is this. What am I talking about? We're used to doing what? What are we used to doing all day? Grazing all day. It's like hand-mouth disease. We don't know what to freaking do with ourselves if we... That was my problem. I can't speak for you, but that was my problem. I just didn't know what to do with myself. That's why the Bible says, Roseanne says, grazing like a heifer. You know, that's why the Bible says an idle soul shall suffer hunger. Let's get busy about the good things, right? We'll even get our enjoyment of food back, okay? So these are our daily disciplines that you're going to be learning. I'm not going to teach you food combinations today. We're going to come up with a meal plan. Do y'all know how many categories of whole food there is on the program? Whole food. How many categories of whole food are there on the program? 7, right. And then there's meal replacements and condiments and other things. We start with the whole food. That way, all the folks that claim that they don't want to eat any processed foods, they understand they have a program that's whole food in its nature. Excuse me. But today, we're only going to talk about foods that don't provoke an insulin response. Does everybody agree if you want to lose weight bad enough, you can wait a few days on eating carbs? We're not a carb-free program. So for a few days until you learn more, we want to eat lean protein, category 1 lean protein, category 2 fibrous carb, category 4 protein plus fat, category 7 shellfish, condiments, meal replacements, and then, of course, our beverages. Okay? So lean proteins break down as amino acids, and if they're prepared the right way, they have no propensity to wind up on the body as fat. We're talking about chicken breast, fish, egg whites, turkey breast, pork tenderloin. I'll show you a full list in a minute, and other foods like that. Now, I won't even show you a full list today. For our partners and members, there are thousands of approved foods. For our new members, we're keeping it, there's probably a little over 100 foods approved for you. I haven't counted them, but something like that, but plenty. Category 2, fibrous carbs, broccoli. That's exercise on a stalk right there, everybody. Asparagus, green leafies, squash, category 2 bread, some bread, not all bread, so on. I'll show you the list in a moment. Protein plus fat, steak, whole eggs, pork other than pork tenderloin, chicken wings, and the list goes on. And then all shellfish like shrimp, crab, oysters, etc. Condiments, we'll look at those. That's what we do. We put condiments on our proper meal to make them more flavorful and enjoyable. Meal replacements, these are things for people like me on the go. Some of you are very familiar with, like, for example, a Mighty Muffin. And then we've got beverages. If our program stopped there, we'd have plenty of food to utilize the rest of our life and still lose weight. And we never miss anything or lack anything, because we get what kind of days too? Holidays. Y'all, when I'm not trying to put on muscle and when I'm not trying to lose body fat, let me tell you how easy my life is now. Really, sincerely, this is true. I want everybody to get to where I am. It's kind of sad because you probably wouldn't need me anymore. And I like the connection we all have. But if you get to your goal weight, when I'm not, because I'm trying to always do better myself, to set the right pace for our company, for our people, to keep them inspired in my own weak weight, I'm always trying to put on muscle or lose fat. So I'm doing it with you a lot. But do you realize that all I have to do to maintain now is Monday through Thursday? This is amazing, isn't it? Monday through Thursday. Have perfect days. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I could take off and I would easily maintain. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'd put on some weight from hog troughing. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it'd fall right back off. I don't have the problems I used to have anymore. This is amazing. God has done such an amazing work in my life and everybody's life here that has utilized the program. All we got to do is do a little bit of work to get there, and it's fun work too. We're eating, right? Pat says, Travis, you're the best teacher I've ever sat under. Oh, thank you so much. That means the world to me. Even if it's not true, it still means the world to me. Thank you so much. So sweet to me. Okay, now I want to show you, just keep in mind, you're not going to learn everything today. I'm going to take you over to the food list, and we're going to come up with a meal plan together for our new folks. Okay, if y'all got a few more minutes to come up with a quick meal plan. So I'm going to shibbolethlifestyle.com. Bear with me for just a second. Thank you for your patience. So I'm at shibbolethlifestyle.com. And you can register, okay? And I'm already in the system. Sasha put my dummy account in here. And you've got some resources. Now, y'all, every time you come back here, you're going to see changes. We're working so hard. I dropped the ministry bomb on my whole team because I felt it would be sin not to move. You know, sometimes when God calls you, I've already got questions. Why didn't you do this right? Why didn't you make this move right? If you read about the disciples of God, when he calls the disciple, he tells them not to take nothing with them. He says to go when he says go. And I don't know how many believers there are here, but the other night at 2:30 something a.m., me outside in the cold of night, he dropped me to my knees and he said, now. And I negotiated and I heard in my spirit now, to the point that it would have felt like sin. So Sasha and my team woke up to see in a post that we were going to be a free ministry. So this is going to be changing for the better every day. If you are the people of God, please be patient with us and love on us during this. Yes, Rebecca, lifetime members would be using your same password. Please look, lifetime members, ding, 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 ding. Partners, you're going to hit the challenge tab. You're going to hit the challenge tab. And you will see a place within the challenge list where it talks about the free 30-day community challenge. This is going to be much more than a challenge, but it's how we had to put it together temporarily. So when you get in here and you add your pictures, your before pictures, another problem is folks say, I don't want to put my before pictures. I wish you would, but you don't have to. Please, no nudity. Had a couple of those. You just never know. But anyway, tight clothing, athletic clothing, so you can see your transformation later. But if you don't want to put those pictures, you still have to add pictures. It's the way the system recognizes that you're now an official member temporarily. But you could put pictures of the beach, of flowers, or whatever you want to put if you don't want to put your real before pictures. That's going to get you in here, and you're going to see challenge resources, text alerts from Travis, and the Facebook group. And here's where you can set your weight until we get your free member journal built out. That's this week too. Right now, you'll have a downloadable journal where you just a journal page until we've got your electronic journal functioning. If you want notifications before I go live, you want to sign up for text notifications here. If you want support in our Facebook group, you want to sign up here. Then we go to challenge resources. And here's our short list. that if you later decide that you want to be a full ministry partner, you'll get an expanded library. That's how we thank our partners. We could not do what we're doing without them. You would not believe the cost associated with administering a program like this, and also being determined to support people freely with no expectation of anything in return from them. So it costs a lot of money to do this. So we love on our partners by giving them many more tools and resources. But there's a lot of food here for your perfect days. And all you have to do right now, does everybody see this? Everybody see these foods? I want you to only pick out foods for your grocery list that you enjoy, that you don't, if there's foods on here you don't like, don't worry about it. I want you to pick out foods that you do like. You'd be better served to stick with category 1 lean protein, category 2 fibrous carb, category 4 protein plus fat, category 7 shellfish, approved beverages, approved sweeteners, oil and condiments, and meal replacements. We're going to add your best meal replacements later today. And then you would focus on having up to 3 eating episodes where these grocery list items are combined right. So let me give you an example. I'm going to look at all these resources, and we're adding more today. I'm going to virtual worksheets, and you see a vision board, which I'll go over at another time. And you see grocery list. I'm going to click on grocery list. And then I'm going to create a new grocery list. I'm going to show you how easy it is to put together a meal plan. And then you could even post this in the Facebook group. And our team members, if you'd like us to, and our great Cibola family members, we will look at it and make some suggestions if you don't have everything right. So I'm going to title this worksheet, class worksheet. You can call it whatever you want. Don't forget to save. And we're going to come up with some grocery list, grocery items. So those of you that are looking at the grocery list right now over here, you're on this page. Name some foods on this list that you like. That you already enjoy. Just the grocery items. Steak. Got to portion control it with our portion plate, but yeah, steak's on there. Peanut butter's on that list. Now that's a category 6. You can go on and add it, but it's not the best to get started with, but it's on there, so we're going to add it. Chicken breast, zucchini, peppers, 96% lean ground meat, Brussels, low-fat cottage cheese. I keep forgetting to look on Facebook. Sorry about that, Patty. Low-fat cottage cheese, leafy greens of all type. We just put leafy greens, and then that means all types. Leafy greens. The low-carb tortilla. Berries. Canadian bacon. Asparagus. shrimp, fish, center cut pork chops, yes, ma'am, Anisha. Butternut squash, anybody else? Whole eggs? Yeah, I got to have that. That should be a staple if you like eggs, because whole eggs are like one of the most powerful foods on the planet. Hate that they've ever even gotten a bad rap. What about condiments and things like that? Are there things you're going to want to use to flavor your foods with? Any meal replacements for those days you're busy? Of course, they're not on the list yet, but some of y'all are aware of the best ones already. Yeah, we won't even put that down. I'll put it in notes like mustard, reduced sugar ketchup, any 0-calorie seasoning, spices, Laughing Cow cheese, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Gala, Beverly UMP shake, good one. Mighty Muffin, sugar-free Hughes, sugar-free Hughes barbecue sauce, sugar-free barbecue sauce. Anybody else? Any other ones? If I missed it, it wasn't on purpose. It's just a lot going on here. Skinny girl dressing. Awesome. Sugar-free syrup, I'll put down here. And y'all may have others. Let me save so we don't lose this. And let me show you how easy it is. A1 sauce, Karen, is always allowed. Good one. Now, let's take a look at, we're trying to get our life back here. Let's look at some meal ideas we could put together with this grocery list. What would be some breakfast ideas that would help us lose body fat? Nicole is asking, can we have regular maple syrup if it is limited? You should not do that. Now, what you'll find out, Nicole, is when you get into the lessons, you can use 50 calories or less of anything on a properly combined meal. So it's lawful, but it's not expedient. If you're going to do that, make sure that you're utilizing it with a properly combined meal and use just a smidge, because any more than that, we're going to get too much fat bust, and then all that effort that you're putting in is going to diminish, okay? You can, on a properly combined meal, lawful but not expedient. I just want to give you all the facts there. So now we're looking at Shannon. Her idea is a Thomas Light muffin, which is approved. Canadian bacon. That's a category 4. Now, new folks, remember the lessons will teach you combinations. There's a combination chart. She's obviously well-versed already here. So she's got a Thomas Light muffin, which is a category 2. This is on the combination chart. A Canadian bacon, which is a category 4, and egg whites, which is a category 1. Now, I'm writing it down. That don't mean it's right. So let me ask everyone that's an experienced member, can she do that? Thomas Light muffin, egg whites, and Canadian bacon. Or did she mess up there? She's on. She's spot on. Good job. French toast, Ciabola style. If you have French toast non-Ciabola style, this is what I love about Ciabola. You can eat something that tastes great that causes you to lose weight, or you can eat the same thing that tastes great with the wrong ingredients and gain weight. Let's eat taste great, lose weight. French toast with approved bread, egg whites, and sugar-free syrup. Great job. Beautiful. Egg white omelet. With category 2 veggies. I love y'all so much. Y'all are so good. Y'all are going to save the world. In the name of Jesus, Patty Bass, all you folks that are joining with us and partnering with us, doesn't it feel good to do this for Jesus now? Doesn't it feel so much better? Nobody can say we're not. Isn't that a great thing? So veggies, we love you too, Jenny. Fat-free cheese, great job. What about some lunch ideas? Hey, Missy, the amazing. I can't wait till these new folks. Can y'all imagine, y'all, when they get to know Missy Barrett, Angela Chai, some of these people who have done more with this program than I've ever done? It's amazing to me. Thank you, Cindy Whitmire. Love you, sis. Some lunch ideas. We could come up with many more. Think about this, y'all. Out of the total approved items on Ciabola, how many is this? Is it even 1%? It's not even 1%, is it? And I could already come up with at least a dozen breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas just from this list that cause me to lose body fat. People just don't know. That's all. They think they got to buy some pill or buy some Nutrisystem meal. You don't have to do that. Let's put an end to the madness. Some lunch ideas. What are some lunch ideas? Peanut butter tortilla the right way. Good. You could have some sugar-free jelly, peanut butter tortilla, great. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich, great one, on approved bread only with non-hydrogenated fat peanut butters. Fluffernutter, that's a good one. An approved grilled cheese, one of my favorite. And for our new members, so that you understand, later you'll learn, hey, on a perfect day, you could have half of an approved grilled cheese with a cup of approved chili. So there's just no end to the variety we can have that will control the fat bus. Turkey sandwich. What would that look like? Boar's head turkey breast, 2 to 6 ounces with some lettuce, slice of tomato as a condiment, some Healthy Life bread, some approved mayo on the sandwich. That's how I would do something like that. Gila, please forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Approved ground hamburger steak. And when in doubt, post a picture of your meal in the Facebook group and get some counsel there. Approved hamburger steak and roasted veggies. Good one. approved chicken salad. Now watch, another nuance. You will not be able to eat Boar's Head chicken salad from the deli. What do you think it's loaded in, everybody? It's loaded with fat. It's loaded in fat and what else? Sugar. And watch, sugar in our chicken salad recipe, sugar elevates blood sugar, right? Pancreas releases a fat storage hormone. Then you've got all that plant fat, that mayo fat that's terrible, and that insulin, it latches onto the fat, and where does it send it? Sends it to your fat cells. So we could have approved chicken salad where we use the right recipe. We could use a Shibboleth approved recipe and be fine. And then we won't have that problem. There'll still be fat in it, but the fat will be used in an energy source because it will be used up as an energy source as opposed to stored because there's an absence of sugar. Hellman's Light and sugar-free relish, Brenda, is normally fine. Use it sparingly. You've got to make sure your total condiment calories are 50 or less per combined whole food meal. We got to learn to use it very sparingly, these approved mayos. Somebody said Pintos, a cup of Pintos. Could do that. Snacks, I see pistachios. Now, do we want to have more than 3 eating episodes, everyone? No. But if we need to, there's approved ways to do that, as long as you know it slows down weight loss greatly. We want 3 or less eating episodes a day. But those days we've just had a rough day and we don't want to have a holiday, we can still have approved snacks. Now, a good question being asked here, and we're running out of time. People's going to lose their patience with me. So I'm getting ready to come to a close. I'm going to save this. We've already come up with many ideas to demonstrate how easy this is. Nicole Robinson asked a very good question. Why can't we use extra virgin olive oil? If you're trying to lose weight, extra virgin olive oil can be a healthy oil if it doesn't become exposed to high temperatures. It's not a heat-stable oil. Plant fats that have come in contact, long-chain triglycerides like olive oil, that have been exposed to high temperatures become the worst type of fat. Now, also, long-chain triglycerides are easily stored as a fat. So when you're at home, you need to be cooking with, which you will see in these lessons, you need to be cooking with 100% MCT oil or cooking spray or ghee butter, or if you have to, coconut oil. But we don't want olive oil in our homes. We do not want any type of vegetable oil in our homes. There's no need in that anymore. It's too easily stored as fat, and it's not good for you if you're using it as a cooking oil. Now, when we eat out in a restaurant, we have Shibboleth lifestyle rules for the restaurant, where if they're cooking in olive oil, we can reduce the negative and adverse impact of it by eliminating what categories in a restaurant, everyone? Only have 4s and 2s, 1s and 2s, 7s and 2s, no category 3s, no category 5s, no category 6s in restaurants until you lose your weight, unless you're having a holiday, okay? Please, trust me, it works. You'll be amazed if you'll, and look, it may take you a few days. Some of you are being exposed to some new stuff. It may take you a few days to tighten up. With each, don't feel like you wasted days. Like if on day 5 of my emails, you learn you've been doing something wrong. Ding, 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 ding. We're getting ready to close. Teaching moment. Ding, 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 ding. After you get, say, a 5th lesson and you realize you've been doing something wrong, please don't quit and feel like you've wasted time. We've already established we got to make this our forever lifestyle. So each day we're going to learn more and we're going to be able to apply more knowledge. Does that make sense, everyone? Don't feel like, oh, I wasted 5 days because I was having olive oil. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to be doing this the rest of our life. So a couple of more questions. Donna asked, how do you schedule snacks and freebies? If you must have snacks and freebies and you're having, listen, anytime you want to have an approved snack or approved freebies as a meal episode, that's great. Keep in mind, I said up to 3 eating episodes. Sometimes I have 2 approved snacks in a day and 1 approved meal in a day. That's great. That's going to be even a better fat loss day for me. What does that look like? Like I might skip breakfast. I just don't eat like I used to. I might skip breakfast, and at lunch, I may have 2 heaping handfuls of pistachios as my meal. And then for dinner, I may have a full meal episode. That's a great day. So what we're talking about here is, what if I want more than 3 eating episodes in a day because I'm just having a rough day and I need it, but I don't want to have a holiday? I think that's what Donna's referring to. Then we don't worry about when we have our snacks and freebies. They're irrespective to the time. We have them because we need them. We feel we need them mentally. You don't need them physically, but you think you need them mentally, or you're going to cave. So you can have it anytime. It doesn't matter if it's right after a meal. Example for me would be, let's say for dinner, I'll give you a day that's a perfect day that I don't do much anymore. I used to do all the time. I'm ashamed to admit, but I'll give you an example. So let's say I had a great meal episode for breakfast. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, everybody. I had a great meal episode for lunch, and then for dinner, let's say I had some fish and asparagus. I've had 3 eating episodes, but up to 10 ounces of wine, like a dry wine, is a snack on Shibboleth. So I could have that snack with that meal. That's actually 4 eating episodes, but it's allowed. Does that settle that for you, Donna? Thank you, Mama. Mama says no snacks unless absolutely need something. Amen. Did that make sense, Donna? Did that unpack that right for you? Perfect. Perfect. Now realize when we're not in session, this is called in session. Y'all may not know it, but this is also a counseling session. This is not just a nutrition class. We're dealing with people's deep seated behaviors. So we're in session. When we're not in session, we're still here for you. info@myshibboleth.com. We're your partner 24/7. Now, reasonable people understand we do sleep. But when we're not in session, you have access to the Facebook group, and you have access to us via info@myshibboleth.com. Okay? All right. We've covered a lot today. I'm going to let this kind of percolate. I will be back live tonight at 8 p.m. If you've got more questions, I'll be back live tonight at 8 p.m. helping you work out any meal ideas you're going to need for day 1, answering questions. For my experienced members, tomorrow we will be, not for our free members, we will be sending out links to the classes for tomorrow, both our master class and for our advanced members, so that you don't have to forget what you know, okay? It's been a long one. I'm sorry it was so long. Will there be a set time and day for our learning sessions? Each week, there will be a little different. I'll have to massage them based on my very challenging schedule. But I'll be able to give them to you a week, right before a new week starts based upon my schedule. This week, free community members, Shibboleth members is going to be around the 1 o'clock hour and the 8 p.m. hour. There's a couple of nights we have guests coming from out of town. There'll be a couple of nights I don't do a night session, but I will be with you for day sessions. And then at the end of the week, we'll put out the next week's schedule. We're a ministry first and foremost. We raise very little money for what we do. It's very costly. So my schedule's always juggling depending on where I'm needed. So bear with me as we do our best to support people. To our partners, we thank you for considering partnering with us and helping fund us. We'll try to be good stewards of your money. We're working on getting the nonprofit set up. There will be lots of changes as that becomes more clear to us. For example, we're trying to figure out how to fund what we do. We already did not, at $49 lifetime membership, we already didn't have much funding. So to do this is definitely a leap of faith. So we're providing perks for our partners. To answer your question, I would suggest no, not yet. We're working hard on it. Cost a lot of money to do that. And we have to separate our product store from Shibboleth legally. It'll have to be another legal entity, one a for-profit and another a not-for-profit. But that's too complicated to discuss right now. I can just give you my word that we're working diligently on restructuring the corporation. Thank you, April. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you all again real soon. Yes, you can send donation now and get some perks. www.helpshibboleth.com. Appreciate you asking, Margaret. That's a blessing. We're fighting tooth and nail to not have any pullback in our services that we're offering. This is a huge commitment. So God putting that on your heart means a lot to us. www.helpshibboleth.com. www.helpshibboleth.com. I'll put it in here real quick in case somebody else feels led to help us. I'm not good at asking for help, but I'm going to have to get used to it as we move toward being a 501c3. www.helpshibboleth.com. I see a private question. Is there a set time of day we're going to do the videos? There'll be usually, generally speaking, around the lunchtime hour and then in the evening when I've gotten through the day's task. Won't do anything on Sunday. There'll be some Saturday morning stuff, but during the week, lunchish and eveningish. The best way to be reminded of those is to go to travis.live, travis.live, not .com, travis.live, and sign up for text notifications. All right, thank y'all so much. We'll see you again, some of you again, tonight at 8 p.m., and we'll continue to vet out this information based upon how God's laid it on my heart. I'll see you tonight.